China's strange alternate WoW client. I think it's something to do with undeads don't have bones or on them or something. I don't know. Here, let's take a look. China's strange alternate WoW client. Yeah, intro's so nice. The Mad Season classic, dude. Yes, sir.
Hey guys, what's up? Mad Season here, back with another video for you. I got something pretty interesting for you today. We're going to take a step into the Twilight Zone, known as the Chinese version of World of Warcraft. Basically, for those who don't know, in China, anything to do with death or anything representing it is a very taboo subject. So much so, for instance, their word for the number 4 sounds too similar to the word death, so it's generally avoided. So, this means the word death, things such as skulls, bones, undead, basically anything to do with death is strictly off the table. Surprisingly though, things such as zombies still seem to be okay, but they just can't have any bones showing. So, in regards to video games, what typically happens if these elements are common? Well, it depends on how deeply ingrained death is in the game, but generally 2 things happen. The game isn't released at all, or it's...
Bro, there's so many bones in WoW. Look, there's bone piles everywhere. You know, it's funny too, watching this video, because the bones on retail, they added an option for undead character creation to have no bones. So you can actually look like that on retail now if you want, like the no bone undead.
It's released, but it's heavily censored and edited until it's appropriate for the culture. Now, this may seem like a monumental undertaking, and it is. It's a huge game and death is everywhere. We even have a class.
Wait, someone said there's no hardcore mode in China? Is that true? Did they really not release hardcore classic? Because it has to do too much with death. Oh, that's false? Okay. Oh, it was a joke. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep watching.
That's based all around it, called the Death Knight, or what it's called in China, the Fade Knight. So, when I said anything to do with death, I really meant anything.
Wow.
Not necessarily everything, though. Some stuff did slip through the cracks, as you'll see.
Fade Knight, huh?
So, in this video, I'd like to show you some examples of the edits and censorships, comment on them a bit, and just compare the 2 versions. Something I should say before I begin, though, is that this is all taken from a Reddit post from a while ago by the user Vadis. He gave me permission to reference and use the images from his post, so all credit goes to him. And if you want to see the post for yourself, I'll have a link in the description. Let's start with what I already mentioned, and that's the Fade Knight. There's not much difference between them and the Death Knights, it's just the differences in the spell names pretty much. Death Coil is renamed to Fade Coil, Death and Decay is Fade and Decay, and so on.
Oh, interesting.
Other than that though, they're pretty much the same. Another big thing is the undead model. As you know, both the male and female undead models have some bone showing. The arms, legs, fingertips, ribcage, spine, etc. In China, all of this is a big no-no, so it was changed. These are what the models look like in their client. Wow. Obviously much more meaty, and the more gory facial appearances are removed. It's kind of interesting, I think. I think the less decayed version actually looks pretty nice, and it would make for a good optional selection on the US servers.
They actually ended up adding that, like I said. Is anyone in the chat Chinese, has lived in China, knows someone in China, maybe you're watching from China somehow, that can like talk about this a bit more? Is this real? Like, you don't say the word death. It's just really, it's taboo. Like, I'm trying to understand this a bit deeper. Maybe we can have some increased insight. Me, smiley face. My keyboard was made in China. Okay. Twitch chat, I love you guys. Never mind.
As you can see, the spine no longer shows through the armor, which I think makes more sense. I never understood why the spine protrudes.
Bro, I'm gonna show you guys this after. Sorry for pausing again, but one of my YouTube videos. So on my YouTube uploads, we put the Twitch chat in the corner. In one of my recent YouTube uploads, the YouTube comments are roasting you guys. Actually, I'm going to show it mid-video. I don't even care. Look at this. The YouTube comments are roasting Twitch chat, calling you guys idiots. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It was on this video. Look at these comments. Day 9 review. Czar's Zoomer chat not realizing Day 9 is one of the OG streamers on Twitch. Day 9 is a national treasure. Okay, the amount of people in the chat that played WoW for years that have zero empathy for new players is crazy. Oh, you guys are getting smoked. Ironically, retail's build quality of life. Okay, never mind. Holy crap, chat is brain rotted here, even by Twitch standards. Chat, you're getting roasted. You guys are getting roasted. The difference between classic, okay. I'd be interested in seeing if Zara could get some of these guys to interview. Okay, Zara's chat is mad. Chat, you guys are getting smoked. You guys are getting smoked. Zara's chat here is actually rude and immature. Oh my gosh. Half of the chat is on the dangerous levels of copium. I love how the chat is freaking out. Oh my gosh. Zara's chat seems to not understand. None of these idiots in his chat know who Day 9 is. Oh my gosh. Bro, I was reading this YouTube video's comments and I was just dying, dude. Because normally they roast me. Normally the YouTube comments roast me, and the YouTube comments were just going wild. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Out of their clothing, like with what we have on live servers. As for other censorships, it's what you would expect. Skulls, bones, etc. The Abomination model, of course, wouldn't do, so they gave him a beer belly. Luckily, though, they kept his extra appendage. Here you can see an edited skeleton mage.
Okay. Wait.
Here's an edited...
Hold on, I want to go to the skeleton mage again.
Here you can see an edited skeleton.
Okay, so this is US with the skull and the bones here, and they just added like a mask, and the arms are like more... They're like, honestly, the Chinese client one looks kind of cooler, I think. Like the translucent legs and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Skeleton mage. Here's an edited saffron from next.
Oh, wow. Saffron. They just completely redid. I have to say I like the US saffron better. Like the skulls, or the bones, not skulls, the bones on this, like this one looks way cooler. This one looks way cooler. I lived in China, wasn't allowed to give someone 400 yuan for their yen for their birthday because the 4 sounded like death. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so it's true. Okay.
Xaramus. A less bony, more bulky undead troll.
What? That troll had barely any bone showing. There's a little bit on the back, and they completely redid it. Wow. Like, this isn't even that skeletal. I guess the weapons have skulls here.
Less bony, more bulky undead troll.
Okay.
And the bones of Agonar in the Hellfire Peninsula were also altered.
That's interesting. So, okay, so they redid the bones here, but like this is a tusk, technically not a bone, so the tusks are fine. But this is kind of like a skull on top, but they kept that. I wonder if there's something like specifically with like rib cages and arms. Huh.
And the room of upside down sinners in the Karazhan crypts had the corpses removed.
That makes sense. This is, I mean, first of all, this is creepy anyway. That makes sense, but you can't really even get here in game unless you glitch to it. So I'm surprised they went through the effort to actually do that. You know what I mean? Because you're not even supposed to like really even get there, right? Or can you? I think you have to glitch to it, don't you? Or can you just run down now? I don't know.
And the list goes on and on. By all means, check out that link in the description if you want a full account, because there's a lot of changes, as you can imagine. So.
Oh yeah, this is the Southern Desolus, right? For that, yeah, the quest in Southern Desolus. Interesting.
So the things they censor make sense,
I mean,
but what they're replaced with doesn't always make sense. And that brings me to the next set of screenshots that I'll call the breadening. More abundant than anything is all of the ground clutter. Through many dungeons or certain leveling zones, there'll be some bones or corpses strewn about, so this obviously can't stand. What objects could they use to replace them? Crates, barrels, piles of junk? Well, how about bread? That's right, what better alternative do you have to replace this chunk of unknown meat on the floor of this cultist crypt? Why, bread, of course. I don't know about you guys, but this is a perfect fit. Chunks of meat, bread. Decaying corpses, bread. And undead monstrosity, the gingerbread man spreading joy with his breadness.
Shot.
That's right, Skullman's is under renovations, it's now a bakery, and they're really aggressive with their sales pitch.
Really?
I strongly suspect the reasoning for this is that throughout the game, there are lots of tables that have meat and animal carcasses on them. The people in charge of censoring all of this stuff started with that, and appropriately so, changed all of these meat items into bread.
Bro, imagine how long it took to go through the entire world of Warcraft and replace every asset with another one. Unless there was a way to do it on a macro scale where you just say like, you know how like when you're in Excel or like Word or something, you can replace words with another word, like the replace tool. Yeah, maybe there's a way to do a replace tool for like the coding and WoW, where they replaced every instance of bones with, or meat with bread and bones with something else, right? Yeah, it must be like a replace tool. Because, bro, imagine doing this by hand.
All of this stuff started with that, and appropriately so, changed all of these meat items into bread. It fits in this sense, but a problem that arose is that these tables are everywhere, so to save time, they changed all of the items in the entire game across the board.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the problem with that is that these chunks of meat that are on these tables are the same ones on the floors of Scholomance and who the heck knows where else. They probably found out about it after the fact and just sort of went with it. And so we learned the true purpose of the Cult of the Damned, and that's to feed all of Azeroth with their delicious dough-based sustenance. Production is at full speed, and they're speccing into pastry soon, so prepare yourselves. Other strange anomalies are statues replaced with sacks of grain. Talking skulls are now talking grain sacks, and all sorts of stuff. Another recurring thing is the straw man.
So they almost surely did the replace tool thing and didn't do it manually, because there's just like weird instances of things, right?
This replaced the many skeletons in the game, and they're all over the place. People really don't like these strawmen because it's a genocide, but at least they respect them enough to put them in their own crypts and coffins. And here you can see how little strawmen are made. Wow. And this unfortunate soul seems to be the subject of some sort of experiment. Now, that's the last straw in my book. I can't bear to watch anymore.
Oh my god.
Some stuff did slip through the cracks though, which is understandable considering just how many skulls and whatnot are in the game. The Lich King's armor remains intact, as well as Sylvanas'. And various skulls and bones did make it through. It all seems kind of rushed, and some weird choices were made. So,
yeah,
this corpse is fine, but this lantern isn't. I guess it really depends if there are any visible bones or not. But
yeah,
anyways, that's about all I have to show you. Like I said, if you want to see a more thorough accounting of everything, check out that link because there's a lot I left out. And once again, credit and thanks goes out to the Reddit user Vadis for digging this stuff up. That's about all I have to say though. I'm gonna go play my Fade Night. I hope you found the video interesting. Like it if you liked it, and thanks for watching.
I'm trying to think of a Western equivalent of like not being able to have a bone in a video game. What's like a Western equivalent? Like, just so I'm trying to understand. Like a swastika, maybe? Like you don't want that in a video game? Like boobs? Well, I think having nudity in gaming is probably a worldwide phenomenon, right? Porn and nudity? Is that not worldwide? Wouldn't anyone not want nudity in a video game? Like even whether you're an Eastern, Western... Yeah. Yeah, maybe swastikas or something, like communist stuff, yeah. Okay, like Nazi stuff or like maybe nudity. Okay. Stuff like that might be like the closest relation. Like you just don't go there kind of a thing. Okay. Well, cool. This is a really cool video, man. I didn't know. I knew about the bone stuff. I didn't know about the bread stuff though. That was hilarious. And sorry for pausing mid video. I just thought these comments on this day 9 upload were absolutely hilarious. So there we go.